Good afternoon, interwebs. Matt Carter, another Carter's Commentaries. Uh, Hope all is well in your world. Um, Tough week this week for my family, and uh, as an extension of being part of Carrie's family. Um, Carrie's mom, my mother-in-law, Beverly, passed away earlier this week. Um, she had had some health issues, and um, Uh, weirdly, in a way, it's not necessarily surprising because of the health issues, but it happened somewhat suddenly. So you still have a bit of that shock. But um, I I've been blessed because Carrie and I have been, and that's a combination of of our efforts. But we've been married for will be 27 years this summer, and we started dating. We were just shy. We were 18, almost 19. That's basically 30 years. So, so much of my life has had her mom and dad and all of her family in it. It's hard to really think of times where they weren't my family. So, um, a lot of jokes get made about mothers-in-law, and I can certainly rib my mother-in-law about being a mother-in-law, but um, she treated me way better than I ever deserved, and I can't imagine what that's like for a mom with three girls and wondering what kind of men uh, their um, their girls are going to be with. And I just hope that she saw that I loved her daughter as much as I do, and that she left this earth um, knowing well that Carrie and I are in a great place, and I would be there to support her when she had to grieve her passing. So those last few years, especially, I don't, you want your family and friends to know there's an eternal destination, and I felt pretty comfortable that she was in that space, um, and we had talked a few times about that, especially after a few little scares. So, always try to keep that part simple. That that it's an acceptance of our brokenness. That we need a savior, and Christ is it, and the rest starts to work itself out. But I didn't want to not kind of hit some verses because that's always an important aspect of me doing these, and so. I've got a couple from Proverbs today because I learned a ton. It's funny, I joke how when I turned 25, my in-laws and my mom and my dad became so smart all of a sudden. When you start to realize that they've lived a lot of life you hadn't yet, and as I became a father, you hope that you can lead your children the way our parents led Carrie and I to adulthood and being responsible. And man, there's still days, because I'm going through it still, that with a 19, almost 20-year-old, it drives me nuts some days, and many days actually, and then a 13-year-old daughter in Briley that you're still trying to get them into adulthood and being grown, mature, responsible, God-fearing, and Christ-loving adults. But I wanted to hit a couple of verses and some of those simple things that through life, our human morality is driven by good books, and of course, mine is the Bible. So, I wanted to hit a couple of areas out of Proverbs, Old Testament stuff. Proverbs 6:20. My son, keep your father's command and do not forsake your mother's teaching. And I wanted to kind of put that up against uh, Proverbs 22:6. Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it. And I learned a lot from mom, from Beverly. She appreciated when I called her mom, so I did often um, to address her. Um, uh, I gave her a hard time, as I think son-in-laws and mothers-in-law are supposed to do in a way, but also loved on her and doted on her and cared for her. Um, and I know that I learned things from her, and there are lessons that Carrie and I, from our parents, have picked up along the way, and have tried to pass those forward to our kiddos. And so I know the truths that rest in these two verses out of Proverbs, that that we didn't deviate, as is said in Proverbs 22:6, that our parents got us off on the way we should go, and when we were old, as I think we are now, we haven't turned from it. And if I go backwards to Proverbs 6 and verse 20, and knowing that or Carrie and I both, I think, have tried to keep our father's commands and not forsake our mother's teachings. I know I still learn from our parents, and share those lessons with our kids, and in some instances even to friends and family, as they may be facing um, life choices or difficulties, and we're conversing. And I find comfort in pulling up things that our parents have said or our grandparents have said. So um, she was a huge influence for us, and that is a legacy that pays forward to her kids, obviously, but also to her grandkids and to her great grandkids as that comes. So that you see that yarn, that thread weave through lives, and I'm pretty proud to have known and spent time with her all these years. I regret some of the more difficult times I gave her, especially as a younger man, but know that we got to a place that she knew I respected her, I loved her, and I still do. I always kind of look at when people pass in this fashion, they're not really gone. Their legacy is within us, and I'm proud to carry some of those teachings forward. Some of our times together that we spent, and we've had smiles this week since she's passed. Also shed a few tears as well, but that's part of the grieving process. So uh, love her dearly. Denny, my father-in-law, um, is was devoted in a way I can only hope to copy. 51 years of being married, and he was an excellent example of a husband and a father. So wonderful folks. If you throw up a prayer on their behalf, this upon seeing this, I'd be appreciative. But she's with the Lord, I know, and it's for us here on earth to kind of navigate the grief that comes. So thanks for tuning in. Remember the influence that you have on your kids, and pay homage properly to the influence that your parents and your in-laws have put into your life as well. So be well, be safe. God bless. You're loved. I love you. Take care of yourselves, and take care of each other.